Yesterday, we looked at Jesus' entry into Jerusalem on Palm Sunday. Then what did he do next? Matthew 21:12-16 tells us. Jesus entered the temple courts and drove out all who were buying and selling there. He overturned the tables of the money changers and the benches of those selling doves. "It is written," he said to them, "My house will be called a house of prayer, but you are making it a den of robbers." The blind and the lame came to him at the temple, and he healed them. But when the chief priests and the teachers of the law saw the wonderful things he did, and the children shouting in the temple courts, "Hosanna to the Son of David," they were indignant. "Do you hear what these children are saying?" they asked him. "Yes," replied Jesus. "Have you never read, 'From the lips of children and infants, you, Lord, have called forth your praise'?" Now, if you've been following along in our Letting Go for Lent series, you may remember back at the beginning, I used this passage to encourage you to find something in God's new temple, your own heart, that is in the way of you experiencing God's loving presence in your life. I hope that over the last 5 weeks, you have been able to let go and make room for God in your heart so that you can draw closer to Him. Our goal has not been to empty ourselves simply for the sake of being empty, but to make space for God to fill us with what is good and what helps us to experience His loving presence more deeply and fully. I want to show you just what happened this day in the temple in Jerusalem after Jesus drove out all those who were making it hard for God's people to draw near to Him. First, there was healing. Jesus stayed in that space that had been a den of robbers, and He welcomed to Himself the blind and the lame, and He healed them. Eyes were opened. Limbs were restored and strengthened to function properly. When Jesus took His rightful place in God's house of prayer, the prayers of God's people were answered. Second, there was worship. Perhaps those children were only repeating words that they had heard from their community the day before. Hosanna to the Son of David. But Jesus reminded everyone of the words of Psalm 8. Lord, our Lord, how majestic is your name in all the earth. You have set your glory in the heavens. Through the praise of children and infants, you have established a stronghold against your enemies, to silence the foe and the avenger. Jesus accepted the praise of these children, acknowledging once again that He is the majestic Lord. So today, would you consider these two things for your own life? As you have cleared room for Jesus to be present in your heart, do you need healing? What wounds have you been carrying that you need Him to touch? Come to Him with your need and ask Him. Then, will you worship Him? Will you take a moment to acknowledge that He is the majestic Lord, glorified in the very heavens? Let's worship Him together with the words of Psalm 8 to close today. Lord, our Lord, how majestic is your name in all the earth. You have set your glory in the heavens. Through the praise of children and infants, you have established a stronghold against your enemies, to silence the foe and the avenger. When I consider your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars which you have set in place, what is mankind that you are mindful of them, human beings that you care for them? You have made them a little lower than the angels and crowned them with glory and honor. You made them rulers over the works of your hands. You put everything under their feet, all flocks and herds, and all the animals of the wild, the birds in the sky and the fish in the sea, all that swim in the paths of the sea. Lord, our Lord, how majestic is your name in all the earth.